But the game is about to begin, so let's go into game. We have game number 5 of Unity versus Rush from the point of view of Unity. This is the 3rd round of the Golden League. This is the final game of the 3rd round. Most of the 4th round is already recorded. We've only got a few games left to actually record before that can go on YouTube. So these games will go on tonight onto YouTube, and then you'll get them over the next couple of days. Then we'll have the entire round 4 uploaded over the next day, probably over Friday. You'll get them released over the weekend, where I'll probably try and get even more casts done, try and get the entire, maybe even the entire of round 5 completed. That way we're only 5 rounds behind. But we have the Antelich and Cap racing ahead, spotting Inspirer and Hexecutor. AMX 1390s versus AMX 1390s. We have a lineup change. Actually, I didn't notice that we have a T69 dropped here from Unity, where they go for the more mobile lineup of AMX 1390s. However, that does make the VK2801 more powerful, because the AMX 1390 from the front is actually a very, very weak weakly armored, which means the VK's damage is huge. Right. I just received an email from Victor Keesley himself. That's what that dong was for, so I apologize if you heard that and thought that you received an email if you used Outlook. I should really disclose my email client before doing these replay class. I'll do that next time. But I received an email from Victor Keesley himself. Wargaming has just turned 15 today, and that is the 16th of the 5th, 2013. Or, sorry, if you're in America, the 16th of May, 2013. Or if you're Unix, 2013-05-16 to remove all confusion. Anyway, the change in lineup from Unity, I'm not sure if I like. Although it makes them more mobile, with the T71 as the other tank, I just don't think it was worth it. I'm surprised they haven't dropped the T71 in favor of a VK2801. That would have been a really awesome move. And then you could have had a T2 as the extra guy, who's way more mobile, able to get out of there. If an enemy attack came up, he would be able to move out, or even just have that little bit more HP to be able to maybe survive a shot, to be able to do some damage. Maybe even upgrade the Bison to a tier 3. With the tier 3, I know the Bison has a better attack angle, but with the tier 3 you can do just a little bit more damage against AMXs. So, Sturmpanzer, for example. Whenever Unity play, I always get the fear that we're going to have a camping match, and today I'm not disappointed. I am disappointed, but I'm not surprised. Unity are just a very cautious team. I'm not entirely sure who their captain is, but they just are incredibly cautious. They're playing like this. They've got a very fast lineup. They rush into position, and they sit here going back and forth. You then have the T71 going through the middle. This is actually a really cool play here, but I can't imagine the T71 winning a one-on-one battle with the VK, and that's who he'll run into if he keeps going. Lebauer, Inspirer, and Hexecutor are spotted mid, so the only person they don't know who his location is Power Slide. They don't know where Power Slide is located, so that could end up being a problem. The Bison and the T2 Lights, though, are still doing their job over on the far side. They're going to probably push around this way, make something happen against a sorry, that's not T2, T1 and a Bison. If they run into the T2, though, there's a good chance the T2 will win the fight. So they've got to be really careful there, not overextend themselves. However, Max is moving. They know they have the middle, but the T71 did receive a shot from the VK in the meantime, and they're going to have the Bison in the front of the force. So I guess they're trying to get a unique angle and try and hit there where we see Hexecutor and Inspiring Lebauer. If you see the angle of attack here, they've actually improved it so that they can maybe get a hit off. So I wouldn't be surprised to see any artillery shells landing there now. Come on, artillery, do something. There we go. You see the artillery coming down now. Where they thought they were protected from artillery are no longer protected. That's why Abbey's such a good map, where you can just keep repositioning and you can do a load of damage. This is why the dual Bison setup is really good, but you do lose that scout, and that is really important. So what do you go for? Extra damage or extra vision and knowledge? And generally speaking, the extra vision and knowledge is better. But over here, we have the T71 running straight into the VK and the T2 Light. Let's get over there and catch the action before it's over. With Kilroyd and Dulux coming around, trying to catch out Shy with Max in support. But Max could get caught out here. And if he is, that could be huge. And Unity will be in a lot of trouble. We don't want Unity doesn't want to lose their Bison at this point because they won't be able to break the siege. Inspira over there still not actually taking any damage. The Bison's been unsuccessful so far. The Antilich actually being unlucky and receiving 200 damage from Inspira. That's really unfortunate for them. Kilroyd, on the other hand, is trying to make something happen with the T71. He's got to be careful because he needs a 5-second window to be able to hit the T71 twice. And the T71 will be able to get 3 shots off in that time at best. I think it's more like 2. But if he shoots first, for example, the T71 fires first. That was the first shot there, but Dulux comes in the back and does some damage to Shy. Shy has to be incredibly careful now as the T71 comes on the back. The VK comes on the back, and we'll be able to get a shot on its weakest point, which is in the rear. But Kilroy, yes, he does get the first shot off. And that's really bad for the T71. The T71 needed to get the first shot off because he needs to get 3 shots off. Kilroy will be able to actually ram him to death. The extra weight of the VK was enough, but the reload timers would have favored the VK regardless. The 71 has to get the 3 shots off, and it has to fire first to get them 3 shots off. 6 seconds he needs to get 3 shots off, where it just needs to be 5 seconds for the VK to get 2 shots off. So the VK, if it fires first, will always get the second shot off first before the 3 shots from the T71. So the T71's got to be careful in that case. Well, actually, the T71... Yeah, the T71 is the American, yes, so it is 6 seconds, sorry. Okay, so we have Inspira here having the fight. Now that Shy is down, we have the VK-281 dominating the rest of the map. So this battle here has to be won by Unity. If Unity do not win the fight here, then they've definitely lost this match too. So we've got to be careful here with Balkin and the Antilich doing as much as they can. And here they are making their play, exactly as predicted. They have to make their play here. They have to win this. If they don't, they have definitely lost. Power Slide able to get the first shot off and the second, but it doesn't connect. But Hexecutor is there in support. Falcon and Balkin Cap are coming around the corner, trying to focus on Hexecutor. They are going to get to focus him down. Power Slide was out of position. He should have really protected his ally. However, Lebauer turns up and is able to do some excellent HP sharing here from Unity. But Balkin is able to be focused down. Lebauer and Power Slide low on HP. Power Slide is not taking hit points from his teammates. The the HP sharing here for Rush wasn't very good. There was no need for Hexecutor to go down so quickly. However, Power Slide comes around the corner using his HP to try and take out Cap. But no, he's actually out of ammo. He was just trying to be a distraction. And that is exactly why you need to share the HP around, because Power Slide's in a lot of trouble and he doesn't have any ammo. He is in the middle of reloading, but Falcon has actually ran out of ammo with 137 HP left. This is very unfortunate for Unity. They're not going to be able to reload first. Power Slide is able to do that. However, Rush should have won that way more decisively than they did, ending up 3-1 for Rush. Now, Unity's last fight there was much better than Rush. Rush should have lost it, really. Unity fought that a lot better. However, most of the HP exchange happened prior to that, and because of their loss of the other flank, their artillery support was down, where Eclipse was still able to pound them with the Bison during the entire of that engagement, which means that, well, as you saw, it was game over for Unity. So it ended up being a 3-0 victory for Rush, which isn't perfect, as 2 rounds were a draw. However, Unity didn't pick up a single win, and that wasn't very good for them. That is the end of round 3.